All right, we're gonna try a new segment here. Walk and talk with Avi Edelman, the HSL, whatever you want to call me, commissioner, owner, director. I want to try a walk and talk session where we go over the upcoming matchups, especially the big games. Tonight, of course, the HSL Men's Softball League. We have our play-in round, our NBA-style tournament, where we got the 9 seed going up against the 10 seed. The winner of that game, the loser of that game will be eliminated. The winner will advance to face the loser of the 7-8. The winner of the 7-8 will advance. So let's quickly go through the games. I want to give my little predictions here as we're super excited for tonight. We got the 9 versus 10. We got the King Venture Raging Bulls, Craig Stroh being captain, versus the Crown Care Black Mambas and Joey Katz. Now, I've yet to be informed whether Joey will be in for the game from South Florida. I assume he will be. Let's go through that game a little bit. So Craig Stroh has had a tale of two teams this year. When Craig brings his younger, better-looking studs, to say the least, they have been a phenomenal team who can compete with the best. When they don't, and they bring, with their older guys who aren't so athletic, have a harder time running the bases, moving around, they struggle. They do have a couple of, regulars, 3-4 guys, don't really know any of their names, but really solid players. Then the question is who's going to fill out with the final 5. Joey Katz's team, of course, has been a bit of a struggle, but they've also had by far, not even close, the toughest schedule out of all 14 teams. They've faced top team after top team after top team. I think every team they faced this year, other than one, has finished in the top 5 seeds of the 14 teams. Joey, of course, has a lot of real, high talent. I don't know who will be pitching, either Joey Katz or Jared. 2 totally different pitchers. Jared throws some speed and spin, and Joey just throws the ball as slow as he possibly can, hopes something good will happen. Of course, Ehrlich and Rudansky, my teammates in the A-League, fantastic players. They have an overall great team. They have a great outfield. Really solid infield. Shira Zalimsky, I don't know if he's back yet. I know he's been on vacation. Also another very solid player. I'm not going to go through every play on every team. However, I do think in that matchup, Joey Katz has the upper hand, especially if Jared's pitching. But even if Joey's pitching, the field's very solid. They have a super talented hitting team, and top 5 hitters are all A-League hitters. So I do think Joey Katz will get the edge on that one over Craig's team and knock Craig out of the postseason. I'll give it a score of 7-5. I think it's a lot of runs in both teams tonight. And then we'll go to the 7-8 matchup. Very interesting Can-Do-Can's team that finished in the 7th seed. They got stars, Jack Ross, Moshe Zinn, Hill Rokach. I don't think they played a game yet with all 3 of them in the lineup. They've been very, iffy with who shows up. Banking on them all showing up, I think Can-Do-Cans will easily have the right with Altbank. Altbank is a really young team. Dovey Klein is a fantastic pitcher. They also have a bunch of really athletic young guys. I don't know if Ben Hayim will be playing, but Shamai Feltman, the captain's a great player. And they got overall, really, really talented team. Young, fast, but ultimately the Jack Rosses, the Moshe Zinns, the Hill Rokach, it's really Dax, of course, the Gauntlet champion. Overall, I think they have a much better overall team. Not sure who'll be on the mound. They have a couple pitchers, but either way, the pitchers both don't walk guys. They throw in strikes. And with that field they have behind them, I think ultimately they will get the win. I think it'll be close for the first 3-4 innings. I think ultimately it'll be a pretty easy win. I would say 7-3 Can-Do-Cans over Altbank. So that would put Can-Do-Cans into the playoffs and would drop Altbank to face against Crown Care Black Mambas. That's a very interesting matchup. Again, Crown Care, I think, has more of the names, more of the bigger A-League players like the Ehrlichs and the Rudanskis and the Rosalimskis and the, good players. Also great team chemistry, by the way, with Donnie Fried. I love him. But, very interesting matchup. Ultimately, it's going to be a close game. I do think that Altbank will have the edge on this only because they're so much more athletic and fast. They're much well-rounded in the field. And their pitcher, I think, is just much more consistent than both Joey. Joey has a tendency to get people out with the higher pitch, but he also pitches really soft, and once you could get into a rhythm, you could really knock him around. Jared's a fantastic pitcher. Once he loses it, it seems like he really loses it. So because of the consistency from Altbank, the young talent, and the speed in their team, I will say Altbank, I think, will then defeat Crown Care Black Mambas, put a score of 8-6. A lot of runs, let's say, even though, again, Klein's a fantastic pitcher. But 8-6, I think, is the final score there. So based on the predictions, you'll have Altbank in the playoffs as the 8. you'll have Can Do Cans in the playoffs as the 7. We will say goodbye to the King Venture Raging Bulls and to the Crown Care Black Mambas. Those are my predictions. That's Walk and Talk with Avi Edelman, yours truly. Hope you guys enjoy, and we'll see if this takes off. We could do some more segments as we have some big-time playoffs coming up, quarterfinals next week, then followed by the semis and championship the week after. So, looking forward, guys. See you tonight. I'm super excited. Of course, rocking the Twillery Ear Polo as we're walking. Wouldn't rock anything else. HSL cap, Smash House, Town Appliance. Thanks for watching.